you for joining us for our Spotlight information event with painting and decorating this evening. We've got tons of great content coming up for you. We're going to be hearing from our curriculum managers to give a little insight about the course offer, entry requirements and progression routes and much more. You'll be seeing the Gray's End campus tour to give a little bit of insight on how the college life will be like when you're on site. And you'll have a dedicated video for painting and decorating as well. So I'm going to pass you over to Karen, our curriculum manager for painting and decorating. Over to you, Karen.
Hi, thanks, Sian. My name's Karen Wyatt, and I'm part of my job role as an assistant curriculum manager for construction. I teach the painting and decorating currently the first years, and I'm also an NVQ assessor for painting and decorating. Part of what my job role is to help with apprenticeships with regards to painting and decorating, and also within construction. I go out on site, I meet employers, I take the assessments, we do videos, we do portfolio building, and work towards an apprenticeship standard. So the new standards this year are, as I said, we try and aim to take on our current first years to work towards employers and to take them out onto site to move them forward. Also with me, I have Derek Rutherford, who's our curriculum manager. So I'll just let him have a quick go with him, and then I'll pass back to myself.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm curriculum manager for construction trades at North Kent College. What we do is we offer a wide range of trades, but one of the trades that we're offering this evening is painting and decorating. You would come in with at least the minimum grades of 3s. So you're looking at your GCSE in Maths and English grade 3. Then we'll actually put you through the interview process. You can apply online right now or just after this discussion on northkentcollege.ac.uk. We want you to submit those applications, and ideally, if you've got your predicted grades for this academic year, that would be great. If not, we need a school report as well. And then that would be able to at least have an interview for painting and decorating. If you've got an insight into why you want to do painting and decorating, that really helps. So if you've got any family members that are actually painter and decorators now, you might want to gain some work experience from them, and then really give us that evidence of what you're doing in your application, so then we can actually give you an offer as soon as we possibly can. From a diploma level 1, which is your first year, you can then progress on to a diploma level 2. And then hopefully gain employment, and then onto an apprenticeship, which is a standards qualification at level 2. What we like to try and do is to make sure we give you good advice and guidance, so you're actually making the right decisions. If you find that maybe you need to think about that, what we can do within the first 6 weeks is continue that open discussion with yourselves and your family, to make sure that we're actually everything is in place for you to get the best experience on the painting and decorating courses. So what we want you to do is to apply as soon as you possibly can. I'll hand back to Karen now. Thank you.
Okay, so my role, as I said, within painting and decorating is to teach the first years and sometimes the second years. I've been in decorating for the past 30 years. I started off as an apprentice. I started off where some of you guys are potentially looking at the moment, deciding on what I wanted to do. I then worked as an apprentice. I then moved up to a site supervisor on a construction site, and into a contracts manager with regards to an underpinning company. So I've had quite a good aspect and quite a good range across the board of painting and decorating. And I came into teaching about 17 years ago, and started off teaching a variety of young students, just the basics to start with, and then developed and transferred the skills that I have across to the learners that are coming in like you guys. I would recommend painting and decorating. It is quite a therapeutic job, although it also can be quite hard on the body at some point. There'll be lots of preparation involved. So you need to make sure that when you're choosing any qualification that you want to do, whether it's painting, decorating, brickwork, carpentry, motor vehicle, mechanics, that you've sort of had a little bit of an understanding with regards to what it is that you want to get out of it. I'll pass you back to Sian, and I think she's got some videos for you to look at.
Thank you both. As Karen said, I'm about to play the campus tour for Gravesend first, and then I will move on to the dedicated painting and decorating video. So please enjoy.
I chose the course with the plan to go on to do a level 3 set design at Dartford. What I like about the course is that I like the experience. We do lots of group projects as well as individual work. We get to do creative work such as stuff like this, and it also practices our skills and also teaches us how to improve our skills. I chose college mainly for the aspect of it's more hands-on, it's more creative. I don't do very good in a classroom setting, and this is, honestly, I've only been here for 6 weeks and it's been 10 times better than school.
Hi, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the videos that you've just looked at. So let me just explain to you a little bit about the painting and decorating. So the courses that we currently host at Gravesend campus at North Kent College, as I said, are painting and decorating, and we currently start off with a level 1 diploma in painting and decorating. So the entry requirements ideally for that are a GCSEs grade A to D or a grade 3 or above in your maths and English. If you come onto a course or you apply for a course and you don't quite get the grades you want, you will have the option to start off on a multi-trade course, which will also involve some painting and decorating aspects within it. But it does give you the chance to develop your skills a little bit more, have a go. You'll also have a little go at carpentry and brickwork, and then decide to continue on to your level 1 diploma. So don't feel that if you don't get the grades that you want, that everything's lost, because we do have other courses that are available. So the level 1 diploma will offer you a good variety into painting and decorating. You will look at things like your health and safety, which is quite paramount in construction generally. You'll also look at the ways that you communicate between yourselves and other people within organisations, within employment. You will also look at structures of buildings. So it's a good idea to have an understanding on what it is you're going to paint. Especially when you're asked to go and paint something, think, okay, well, what sort of access equipment do I need to paint certain parts of a building? So you'll get a good understanding of knowledge that's just what we call generic units across the board. And they're the same in no matter what qualification you go into with regards to a level 1 diploma. You'll also look at different types of access equipment, and that could be steps, ladders, hop-ups, mobile towers. You need to make sure that you can set them up and use them correctly if you're going to carry out aspects of painting and decorating. We then move on to preparation of surfaces, painting of surfaces. So to make sure that the paint's going to adhere to the surface, you need to make sure it's prepared properly. And again, you'll use a variety of paint stripping, removal by heat, lots of rubbing down, filling, making good, before we can go on to painting the surfaces. When you go on to painting the surfaces, we will look at internal and external sections. We will look at different types of paints, water-based and oil-based paints. The workshop is set up to host individual bay areas. So you've got small rooms within the workshop that will give you all the aspects you need to do for painting and decorating: ceilings, walls, woodwork, doors, windows. And as I said, we've got brickwork, blockwork, and all different aspects. We will then move on to, as I said, applying your different types of paint systems, water-based and oil-based paints. And again, that's going to be internal and external. We move on to wallpapering. Wallpapering in the first year, you will look at basics. So maybe it's a lining paper, maybe some different types of small patterned paper. So you'll learn about hanging vertical and horizontal types of material to surfaces. And then we move on to paint effects. Now, paint effects is a little bit more of a design type stuff. So you'll get a good understanding of how to use tape measures. So this is where your maths will come into it. And also reading and understanding instructions, which is where your English comes into it. We use the setting out process where you will set designs from a drawing, project it onto a wall, and majority of it you will cut in freehand. We don't like using masking tape because you need to learn to cut in freehand because it gets you a better finish. So that's the qualification that we currently run. From then you'll have an option next year. That's a 1-year course. From then you'll have the option to continue potentially onto either a level 2 diploma full-time or into an apprenticeship. And as I said at the beginning, we do work with a variety of companies, national companies and local, to try to progress our learners into apprenticeships so that they can go off and start to develop their skills that we've taught them at the college into people's houses and different varieties within the paint and decorating range. The courses, both courses, level 1 and level 2, are 3 days per week. And within those 3 days, you will need to, if you haven't already got your maths and English, you will need to start working on your maths and English. So by doing that, you will either come in ideally and resit your GCSEs for those that you didn't get the grades for at school, or potentially you will resit functional skills. So again, you need to start looking at your maths and English. We do try and offer work experience or work placements. We have quite a good employability team with regards to employability. And again, with some of those employers that we use, we like to send them out on work experience so that you guys can have a little bit of an understanding on what's expected from you when you go out to work. And also it gives you an understanding as to whether you actually think that you want to do this. Bearing in mind this time of year is quite cold and you will be working externally some days. It's a good way of just getting an insight into the apprenticeships. We do external projects. So within the course, especially at the Gravesend campus, which is where we're based, we try to involve things that are going on generally. So around remembrance, around Christmas, Easter, and other things that are going on generally. We like to do small projects. So some days you could be actually designing stuff out on walls for the whole of the college to use. And we like to also work with other departments in cooperation for these. If you are interested in applying, you've seen the virtual tours, and I know there are some virtual 360 tours that are available as well. You can fill out the application process online if you log into the college website, www.northkent.ac.uk, and the application forms will come up. They will come through to us electronically. You will then get a phone call asking you to ensure that you've produced evidence of a school report and also what your predicted grades are. If these are not on the application when they're sent through, then unfortunately we will be asking you to submit those before we can carry out an application interview. The interviews at the moment, obviously with the current climate, are done online. They're done via Zoom or Microsoft Teams or even just by a standard telephone call. And we will have a conversation with you about why you want to do the course, what you want to get out of it, how the course runs and what the college can offer you. If in the first 6 weeks you become, obviously if you get offered a position within the college on the course, if within the first 6 weeks you decide it's not quite what you thought it was going to be, then we will work with you to try and relocate you into another department. If it's things that you're struggling with, again, we will work with you to ensure that you can continue to stay on the course and work through your studies. The facilities and hardware that we run in the workshop, as you've seen on the video, we've got quite a nice workshop. We supply all the tools, the equipment and the materials that you need to complete the course. However, when you fill out your application form and when you get signed up for the course, there is a materials fee that will be payable when you come in to enrol. There's also the opportunity to purchase some t-shirts that will make you more of like a uniform so that people are aware that you're coming to North Kent College and that you're on a construction course. We've had some really good success stories with some of our learners. They've gone on to become site supervisors, site managers. So we have the opportunity to go from level 1 to level 2 out onto an apprenticeship and then still to develop your skills once you're out on an apprenticeship with some of our companies. Some of our companies that I said we work with are quite keen on training elements, and they will progress you even more depending on what route you want to go down to. Some people will decide they want to stay as a painter and decorator. Some decide they want to go on and be site supervisors. Some go off and decide they want to be quantity surveyors. The salary that you can sort of expect from a painter and decorator will depend on which route you take. If you work for a company, you will probably get a set allowance of about £28,000 to £30,000 a year. If you become self-employed, then obviously you can price for your own work. The quality of the work that you produce when you're doing your painting and decorating will be dependent on the prices you can charge. So the better quality of work you produce, then obviously the better money you can charge for people. And if people are aware that the quality you're producing is of a good standard, then they will quite happily pay more additional funds for the work that you're producing. Just going through, there's some questions that have popped up which I'd quite like to answer now. The courses are based in Gravesend campus only. We did used to run at Dartford a few years ago, but at the moment everything has been brought back down to Gravesend, so that everything vocational is now here. We are, unfortunately, the way the qualifications work is we're not being given an opportunity to go direct onto a level 3 program. We have to follow the systems of level 1, then onto level 2, then onto level 3. However, qualifications do change periodically, and at some point, depending on the grades that you've got, there may be the opportunity to go straight in at a higher level, as long as you can cover the aspects that have been done already. The on-site opportunities that we have for students to work towards. As I said, we do work experience, and we do try and send students out to site to work. Now, a site could be someone's house, a site could be a building site. And as I said, we do work with employers quite frequently to give people those opportunities whilst they're working in college to go out and see what it's like in the big wide world before they progress. You can work for a company if you want to during the course, and that's called an apprenticeship. Now, as I said, we do take some of our first years and progress them onto apprenticeships. However, you will also have the opportunity, if you've already got an employer, you can come in as an apprentice straight in and do a two-year program where you'll start off carrying out the aspects of the level 1 qualifications and then progress into the level 2 qualifications. The days of the hours that you will be expected to attend would be 9 o'clock start and around a 4:30 finish. When you come into the course, it will be 3 days a week. And as I said, that will incorporate your maths and English. We'll also incorporate employability skills where we're making you work ready. And we'll also do tutorial slots where you get the chance to sit and have one-to-one reviews with students to discuss what's going on. And again, if you've got any issues, we can discuss with you. You'll be expected to provide your own PPE when you come in, and that will be a pair of steel-toe cap boots and either a pair of white painter's trousers, white bib and brace, white boiler suits. We do expect you to wear a change of clothes when you come in. We also provide lockers that you can use to put your equipment in, and you can put in your PPE when you're not wearing them. So the course is a mixture of practical and theory. So you'll do your practical sort of 30 to 40% of the time you're at college. You'll obviously have your maths and English or employability, and then we'll have the theory classes. The theory classes, as said, with regards to your qualification, you will do your learning in the classroom, and then you will have set exams that you will have to do, online exams for each unit. And you will also have practical assessments, which is a bit like a practical test to carry out. When you finish the first year course, as I said, it will give you an insight into the painting and decorating. It will give you the opportunity to go off and do some work inside people's houses, but again, it will be only to the limit that you've been trained on. What I wouldn't say is that you would potentially be able to go out and redecorate a whole house in a short period of time. What it will do is give you the understanding and the knowledge to be able to start to decorate. Some of you, even if you do the level 1 and decide it's not for you, will have learnt those skills. So when it comes to you purchasing your own property, you will have those skills instead of paying someone to go out and do them. If you want to apply for the college course, as I said, go onto the website. You can apply online, and the application form will come through to our MIS department. It then gets forwarded on to us to book in for an interview with you. Any support that you need is available. If you have an educational healthcare plan, then support is put in place for that. If you have any other learning difficulties, then again, support can be put in place for that. We try and work with you. We obviously identify that there's different needs within learners, and that's fine. You can come into college still. There is obviously the guidelines that we would still expect from you with regards to your maths and English. And as I said earlier, it will be a grade 3 or above. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So yeah, so even if you have learning difficulties, don't feel that you can't apply, because you can. As I said, uniform you will need to supply is PPE, boots and overalls. Everything else we do supply. Brushes are here. However, if you have your own tools and equipment, we are more than happy for you to bring them in to use them. As I said, if you've got anybody in the industry that you work with and you think, you know what, I'm going to go and work with them a couple of days a week while I'm not at college, then by all means do that. It could transfer into an apprenticeship of some sort. If not with painting, the skills are still transferable. So even if you're out doing a little bit of general building or a general bit of labouring, you are still picking up the skills that a construction company would be interested in taking on. The experience you will get within the college, as I said, is set out in small room areas. Now, these room areas are about a 4 metre square. They do contain the same elements that you would get in a house. We have facilities, obviously, of ceilings, covings, chimney breasts, windows and doors, panel doors, flush doors. We have large areas that you can work on externally. We have staircases that run up inside of the rooms so that you can start to prepare and apply paint systems to spindles and staircases. You will not, unfortunately, get the opportunity of work experience with what we call real clients. We don't tend to send our learners out as a group, but we do, as I said, tend to send them out with employers that are working in people's houses. But you will be going out alongside other people, not just on your own. We can take, our facilities range from sort of 16-year-olds up to 99-year-olds, I'd say, if they're ready for it. The entry requirements for the course you would need to be for a fully funded course, i.e. that you would get it funded, is between the ages of 16 to 19. So up to your 18th birthday, if you're still within college, it will get paid for by the government. After that, depending on your situation, you may be asked to pay full costs or at least the contribution to it, depending on what your current situation is with regards to employment. We don't unfortunately run evening classes. We only run during the day. So again, that's Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock till 4:30. However, your days will be 3 days a week. So the other 2 days that you're not in college, you will have the opportunity to go and get a part-time job, or to catch up on your work, or as I said, to go out and do some work experience. We do internal and external decorations. We do have the facilities here at college to do that. So again, you will start looking at different types of paints, internal and external, water-based and oil-based paints. Even if you don't have any experience, you can still come on the course because the course is about learning. We will teach you all the experience that you need to be able to progress yourself within painting and decorating, and within construction. So don't feel that because you don't know anything about it, that you can't apply. You can. And as I said, if within the first 6 weeks you don't feel that it's what you want, then we will obviously work with you. So within the course, we obviously look at setting up and using access equipment. We will look at preparation of surfaces. So again, we will look at stripping wallpaper, stripping paint surfaces, preparing, abrading, filling, rubbing down. We will also look at painting of surfaces, so ceilings, walls, woodwork, and said before, internal, external, water-based and oil-based paints. Generally, anything you will find in a house. There are elements of wallpapering involved, but as I said, they are sort of basic wallpapering, and then obviously the paint effects. If you want to enrol on the course, then you can go onto the college website at www.northkent.ac.uk. You can click the link to fill out the online application form. That will then get sent through to us here at the college. You will have an interview date booked in and a time, and that will be carried out at the moment online. So it could either be a Zoom call, Microsoft Teams, or even just a basic phone call. We do expect, as I said, to have a minimum grade of a grade 3 in your maths and English. And also we would expect you to submit at some point before your interview a school report and an idea of what those grades are going to be. We obviously are looking at attendance from school, we're looking at abilities from school, and we're looking at sort of attitudes from students with regards to wanting to learn. So when you come into the college, you will go through a 6-week trial, and as I said, on the 6 weeks trial you can work out whether it's for you or not. We will look at your attendance, we will look at your behavior, we will look at your attitude to learning, and obviously try to encourage you to stay on the course if you decide you want to change, and also look at other opportunities available if you feel that it's really not for you. So within the college, we do everything we can to try and encourage you into the college, to encourage you to work with us and for us to work with you, and to also try to give you every opportunity that we can to develop the skills that you've worked in college, and take those out into the big wide world, towards employment in the chosen trade that you've gone into. Derek, have you got anything else you'd like to add to that?
No, I think you're covering it quite well, Karen. I mean, what we would need to look at as well eventually, as a qualified painter and decorator, once you've gained some years of experience, what you can do is you can set up your own business. You could actually work as a self-employed painter and decorator, or you could actually go and work for a small builder or a national company. I mean, like I say, I've been painting and decorating for over 30 years before I came into teaching. And I've worked for myself as well as for an international company. So it gives you all the opportunities you possibly can, as long as you're prepared to learn and get your qualifications. We make sure we provide all the tools and materials you require for the program. So what you need to do is just to make sure that you turn up, you make sure you've got your boots and overalls in the respects of painter's whites. There is a small contribution at the beginning of the term towards the materials, but all the tools and materials are supplied for you. Yes, part of the qualification, even on a level 1, you're learning about wallpaper. And as Karen said earlier on, you're actually doing cross-lining as well as hanging basic wallpapering in your first year, and including on ceilings. You don't have to supply your own paint. We've got relationships with all the large manufacturers of paint, and they supply us with a vast range of types of paints, and you'll be applying through your qualification all those different types of paints. Anything else, Karen? What about South Africa, Karen?
Yeah, so some of the opportunities that some of our students have had on the course is we are quite keen on doing competition work. So we do try and encourage learners to take part in competitions, and those competitions can be within other colleges as well. So we have the opportunity to demonstrate our skills across the southeast of England, within Kent, and then also what we call national competitions across the country. We've had quite a few guys that have come through, girls and boys, that have gone on to develop those skills and to show them off basically within competitions and to win some really good prizes. We also have an opportunity of going to work on a school in South Africa, which we've done over the past 4 years, and a local businessman has decided to fund that. Now, because it's a charity, he wants people to go out with him and a charity of about 200 to 300 volunteers to build a school in a week. So a couple of our members of staff have had the opportunity to go out with about 3 or 4 learners every year to fly out to South Africa for what we would call a life-changing experience, because trust me, it is. When you go out and you see some of the opportunities that the children are not getting that we take for granted, it is really worthwhile doing. So we do try and give as many opportunities within the college, not just on the courses, but external opportunities as well.
We've got a couple of other calls coming, Karen. Really, I mean, you know quite a few of the apprentices, quite a few of the apprentices that have actually gone on and actually been qualified and stayed with the company. We've got one who's actually supervisor,
yep,
and another one who is a quantity surveyor now,
yep,
actually being promoted up through the company. So there's those opportunities, guys. If you want to put yourself forward and apply for painting and decorating, the sky's the limit. It's how you apply yourself. And we have got the opportunities for you to achieve a full potential of employment for the rest of your life. It's about you applying yourself for that. We have students we're in contact who actually came through here several years ago, and they keep on touching base with us. They might have a concern about a material or some other thing that some other opportunities they have in workplaces. They might just want our advice and guidance, and to see if because we have relationships with manufacturers, to see what we think of these types of materials. So it's a two-way street in that respect. We help all the time as much as we can. Now, there's another question came in there about if I'm decorating a bathroom, can I do the tiling? Well, there's nothing stopping you doing the tiling. We actually deliver the tiling on our multi-trade courses, and some of our learners actually progress from our multi-trade program, so they've already been taught how to tile walls, so that's part of the bathroom, and then they actually come in on the painting and decorating programs, and then they can decorate those rooms. A lot of tiling is similar to wallpapering. It's about the setting out, about the measuring. So there's nothing stopping some of our learners actually doing the tiling, even though they've done wallpapering. Karen?
Yeah. So at the Gravesend College, we have quite a lot of facilities to support your learning. We have the Learning Technology Centre, which in olden days might have been called a library. So we have an area that's full of books. We've also got ICT equipment to help to facilitate your learning. We've got, as I said, we've got the workshops, we've got the classrooms. So there's the opportunity of doing work, even if you're exempt from your maths and English, you can go into the library or the LTC and you can continue with other studies that we have going on. We do, as Derek said, we have quite close contact with employers and even some of our old employers. I know within departments, we've had old employers that have come back to us as we've trained up for an apprentice, and they've actually taken apprentices on. So it just does demonstrate the skills that what the college is providing within the paint and decorating department is a service that people are taking on board, using those skills, going out in the industry to work, and looking back and thinking, you know what, I now want to give someone else a chance, and I'm going to go back to the college to see if I can take on an apprentice from them. As we've said before, uniform, boots and overalls is what you'll need for the course. We do provide college t-shirts because it does give you part of that understanding of uniforms, because when you go out to work, if you're working for an employer, they will ask you to wear a set uniform. Some of our apprentices actually come in wearing the uniform they're given from work, which will have their t-shirts on them. So as I said, for apprenticeships and work experience, we do offer them. We have the opportunities to do it. As I said, we work quite closely with our apprenticeship teams. We work quite closely with our employability teams, and they all give us the opportunity to offer out work placements, work experience, and apprenticeships. So apprenticeships, you've got two options. You can either come to us if you've already found an employer that's willing to take you on as an apprentice, or you can come to us at the beginning of the first year, work your way through the first year, and then we will look at those who are showing good abilities and are interested in apprenticeship, and then we will put those forward to our employers that we currently have. Derek, I think that's it. Sean, I think we're heading back to you, unless there's any more questions.
No, that's actually all for all the questions. There was a few latecomers, so I'm just going to replay the videos again. So we've got the campus Gravesend tour, and we've also got the dedicated painting and decorating video as well. So I'll be playing them as well now, so please enjoy.
I chose the course with the plan to go on to do a level 3 set design at Dartford. What I like about the course is that I like the experience. We do lots of group projects as well as individual work. We get to do creative work such as stuff like this, and it also practices our skills and also teaches us how to improve our skills. I chose college mainly for the aspect of it's more hands-on, it's more creative. I don't do very good in a classroom setting, and this is, honestly, I've only been here for 6 weeks and it's been 10 times better than school.
I hope you enjoyed the videos and obviously the great insight that Karen and Derek spoke about with painting and decorating, and actually the wider campus at Gravesend as well, which was really great. That's it from all of us today, actually. I hope you've really enjoyed it. Those of you that had pre-registered for the event, you'll receive an email that will have all the contact details that you need if you require any more information. We also will be sending loads of the video content out again, so if you've missed it or you came in late, that will be up as well. And those of you that have been watching on Facebook, you can head over to the event page and there is a contact details is there for you as well. If you are interested in obviously painting and decorating, please apply now. We really recommend the sooner the better. Hop over to our website, www.northkent.ac.uk. In the top right hand corner, there's a lovely pink button that says apply online. If you go on there, add it to your basket and then go through the processes. Thank you, Derek and Karen, for this evening, and I hope you've really all enjoyed it. Bye.